want to help. So it's like really what we think about, it kind of will rule our world. You know, if you're sitting here not thinking you're awesome, then you're not going to be awesome. If you're sitting there thinking, I'll never get anywhere, then you probably never will, okay? That's just how it works. You are what you eat and you are what you think. If you think you're, you know, hot shit, sometimes reality begs to differ, okay? I'm not gonna say we're all gonna be everything we think, okay? But we have the potential, you know. We can't dismiss that we all have the potential to do what it is that, you know, we want to do. And we could do whatever we want to succeed as well. But it's just all in you know, obviously you set your intentions, you make your prayers, but there's more. There's more to just, you know, oh, I set my intentions and I prayed. You gotta do the work. You gotta actually think correctly. You gotta actually, like, want the right things, because God ain't gonna work with you. The universe isn't gonna work with you if you're doing it for a negative purpose. If you're doing it to better yourself, you're more likely to succeed than if you are doing something just to be better than someone, or, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta do this shit for yourself. You can't be, you know, doing things out of spite or doing things that don't, you know what I mean? These types of energies that don't really produce results. So any type of negative thoughts, any type of negative behaviors, we gotta see them for what they are. A hindrance, holding us back. You know, maybe we say mean things to people and that keeps people away from us. Those types of things need to be maybe I need to say things a little gentler. Maybe I need to behave a little kinder, you know. It's just putting in the efforts where we take we need to take the time to do it. And that's what will perfect our growth, okay? So it's not like just, oh, I'm going to pray, I'm going to manifest, you know. There's work that needs to be done for every grind to be successful. And like I said, I literally wake up in the morning and start working, because it's like, it's just normal, it's natural, it's happy, it's something that I've been doing this. I'm not going to interrupt anything. I want everybody to be able to hear what I'm saying. If I give a heart, that's because I'm saying thank you. So anyways, it's really important to kind of think back, like, where have I failed? What extra work needed to be put in? Once you realize where you failed, you start a new project or a new situation, or maybe even rectify the old one. You know what I mean? And so you do what you have to do in order to make more progress, more growth. And I do see that growth really being important. And you shouldn't be too fixated on getting praise or getting, you know, what do you call it? Kudos from other people. You really shouldn't be fixated on, being successful only. You should really focus on all aspects of just having a good overall experience about what it is that you're doing, so that you can be successful. So it's like a good overall experience when I am uploading these videos first thing in the morning. You know, when I upload the video and I look at it and I think, okay, the things I'm saying feel very good. They make me feel like I can do to do. And so I know that I'm doing the right thing. You know, if I had videos where I'm like this and that and all these things, I'll probably be like, I don't really know, y'all. I don't really know how I feel about that, you know? So it really does matter putting out into the world, because at the end of the day, it's attached to you. You know, the way you behave, the way you think, the way you feel, people are going to be able to pick up on that. And that's why I was like hanging out with somebody, and like, I'm like, how come you only laugh when you're talking about somebody who got hurt? And it's like, I realize it's because they're the type of person who's constantly in pain. They don't have happiness. They don't know how to be happy of their own. So the only time they're happy is when they see other people suffer. And I really do not like that, because it just shows where you're at and where you're going. You're going to a bad place, okay? Mentally, physically, spiritually. Okay, when this person's attitude started changing, they started getting heavier. Okay, after losing a lot of weight, they got very heavy. They got a lot of bad skin problems. This person just started turning more and more bad. You know what I mean? And so it's like me, I'm going the opposite way. I'm literally looking younger when I wake up, because I don't want to see anybody in pain. I don't want to see anybody suffer. You see all these disgusting, witches in cartoons who's all fucking sucked up and haggard looking. And, it's because those are bad witches. Those are bad people. You know what I mean? Like, you see the Joker or whatever. You see bad villains and stuff, and they look all fucked up. And it's because they're literally heading down a path of evil, they will start to look like it. And that's part of success. Part of success is putting out the energy that you want to exude. Okay? So, if you're waiting for like a positive response from people, it's gonna leave you dry and decayed, like those dried up, haggard looking witches. You gotta just know what you're doing is right and be happy, regardless if you get a thank you, regardless if you get a pat on the back. You gotta do it for you. You don't need a bunch of cheerleaders to tell you what you can and can't do. You're an adult. You're probably a man. Why the fuck do we need cheerleaders cheering us on to do what we're supposed to be doing? I just feel like we're all adults here. We have the ability to be successful by choosing successful paths, by choosing not to feel happy when other people are in pain, because we're going to look ugly and old and decay and die and have cancer and have diabetes and have more sicknesses and illnesses than before. And that's what I'm saying, is like those types of things eventually develop within self, okay? Within self. So if I'm constantly exuding joy, peace, and beauty, I'm less likely to get sick. I'm less likely to, get some kind of rare illness that people haven't seen. You see these people that are doing a lot of bad things, they end up getting like super rare diseases that nobody can fix or cure. And it's like, well, okay, it could be genetic, okay? But the genes, when you're not, okay, you could be a perfectly nice person and get sick, okay? But I'm talking about somebody who's making themselves sick. Okay, there's people out here in the world that be making themselves sick. Like I told you, the guy who was making himself gain all that weight by putting out lots of negative energy. He was gaining weight, and his skin was getting really, really bad. And I'm like, okay, well, like, your personality has very much changed a lot, or you're finally showing who you really always were. Okay, and now you're starting to look worse. You're starting to have worse posture. I'm not saying that posture is like we have complete control over it all the time, but I'm saying like everything was just changing. Like he started growing like strange growths, under his skin that were changing the flesh of the color on the outside. And it's like, when you create that kind of energy, you start to look that kind of way. Okay. And so I would say that's part of success. If you want to be very successful, thank you for all the hearts. If you want to be very successful, I figured that the first step is going to be like the thoughts, your thought process. Do I exude successful energy? Do I clap for others? Do I genuinely care when somebody else succeeds? Because I do. I know that I want somebody else to clap for me when I'm successful. I know that I have a lot. I have actually felt like I've encouraged a lot of people to do good things, to do the things that they've been wanting to do that they haven't done yet. Because we're adults. We have that opportunity now. We don't have people telling us what we can and can't do unless you're trying to do something terrible, okay? But, like, I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to go off-roading or, you know, just something simple you can do that doesn't hurt anybody else, you should go and do it. Especially if you've been wanting to do it. And I lead with that because I feel like if you do the things you want to do, you're going to be happy. You're going to, you know, as long as it's not at someone else's expense, because then you got to deal with karma, right? And, you know, being very successful means you have very little karma to deal with. And karma is really just like, okay, say I go to Wendy's, okay? And I spit in the Wendy cashier's face. After that, I'm most likely going to go to jail, okay? Around here. You'll probably end up getting locked up. But I'm probably going to lose endorsements. I'm probably going to lose favor in the public eye. I'm probably going to lose face. I might gain some fans, but those fans are just going to want to see me do more negative things, okay? So that's what I'm saying is there's different types of success. Now, if I go into Wendy's and I don't spit in her face and I don't go to jail, I could go to the important meeting that I had at 3 o'clock that day. Okay. I had my Wendy's. I go to the meeting. I get the job. I get whatever, you know, I get money, whatever it is. I'm more successful because I didn't spit in that Wendy lady's face. You know, Wendy's ladies, the fucking Wendy's lady. I didn't harass her. I didn't assault her. So I was more successful. I mean, it really goes hand in hand, okay? If I go to a court, if I go to court and I bang the gavel at the judge, he gonna hold me in contempt. I'm not gonna be successful. Okay, there's different things that need to be done, okay, and to be successful. And being successful is really just about putting out that type of energy, putting out the right energy in order to succeed. And so if I go into that meeting, okay, after I have my Wendy's and all that, now if I go into that meeting and I'm stressed out, all I could think about is, I don't know, some drama I had last night with somebody, right? I'm not going to be successful. So I would need to change my mind back at the Wendy's, you know, before I ever even have to step into a meeting. I go back to the Wendy's, I'm having my square hamburger, you know, and I'm enjoying it. And I have to think about, okay, how am I going to go in there and not be stressed out? I'm going to stress for now. I'm going to freak out for 5 minutes. And then after those 5 minutes, I have to breathe in very deeply and very calmly and very cool. And I feel like you're only going to need like 2 minutes to freak out. After those 2 minutes are over, you could just go back to feeling good. And you'll be like, man, why was I stressing? Like, you realize a lot of the times in life when we stress out the most, we have no reason to. Like, I don't know how many times that's happened. And like the times we don't stress out, that was the time you needed to, you know what I mean? But, you know, it happens. I feel like sometimes we can handle situations better than we can handle them in other times. And I would say to be successful is knowing how to handle every bad situation when they arise. And I would say to do that, you just have to center yourself. Realize you have all your arms and legs, and if you don't, you know, you still got your life. But it's kind of like, in my book, it's not a bad day unless you got some kind of horrible STD and you gotta sew up your downstairs or cut it off or whatever to cure it, okay? Or like there's a predator alien inside of you. If that kind of shit didn't happen to you today, you had a good day. Where I come from, okay? If you didn't get like a predator alien baby ripping out of you going, ah! You had a good day, okay? And so thinking of that broadly really brings up the energy, because you're probably not going to have a predator alien or some kind of horrible dick ripping off disease, or vaginal sewing up disease. You're probably not going to end up with that, okay? For most likely, unless you asking for it, okay? Knocking on doors. How is your bed doing? Let's go check. Yeah, you might end up with some kind of disease, you acting like that, but, you know, I'm literally just thinking as a joke, as a huge, you know, as a huge way to kind of see things. Is like, if you're not going through that, you're probably having a great day. Okay, I'm not saying you're living your best life, but you're probably having a good day. If there's no predator alien baby coming out of you, you're probably having a great day. Okay, in my opinion. I'm having a good day, thanks for asking. But I would say that's probably the most important part, is where is your mind? Okay, you prayed to God, you're doing the things you need to do. Where's your mind at, though? Do you believe that you're going to succeed? Because if you don't believe you're going to succeed, you probably won't. Okay, that's rule number one, alright? That's got to be the first rule there. Because if you're not really believing that you can do something, you're probably not going to do it. Okay, if you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to. Sometimes you could, you know, maybe you don't believe it, but you're just really good at what you're doing, okay? And if you're really good at what you're doing, you end up being successful by accident. And then that brings the confidence. So maybe you should try every type of thing. You know, I don't know why I was getting some kind of a message for a rapper. Maybe they overcome things by rapping. Maybe they help other people overcome things by rapping as well. That's kind of the energy I was getting. It's like they chose to, you know, use this rap deal or whatever it is that they have going on in order to cultivate that type of good energy. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter what avenue you head down, you could always go and put good energy there. Thank you. And I feel like that's important, is to just motivate oneself. Always remain positive that out of failure, there is success. And I just feel that way, because it's like, how many times have you tried to go after something and it just totally like fell apart, and then you like picked up something else, like, and weren't really trying, and then boom, it was like, whoa, how, like, what did I just do? Like, what did I just do? Okay, like, and then you feel wonderful, and you found what you're good at, and then you can take it from there. So it's like, if you don't try things, how do you know what you're good at? You know? And if you're not good at something right away, how do you know you don't like it, even if you're not good at it? Like, it's just kind of like, you gotta really be open to the possibility of possibilities, okay? And I feel like that's something that everybody has within them. There's just this curiosity, you know, this desire to learn, this desire to grow. We need to manipulate that so that we could learn and grow to be monsters, you know, like heavy hitting monsters. And I feel like that type of success is just, it's granted. Okay, like, I feel like most success is granted. It's just we hinder ourselves from it with stupid thoughts, not believing in ourselves, and like little things. It's like, don't compete, you know, don't try to compete with others. Be yourself, do your own thing. Take what you like that somebody else says and use it for yourself. I'm not saying use it to say like, oh, I made up this shit. No. Say you like what so-and-so says. take what they say and use it for your own life. Kind of like what I'm saying. If you like what I'm saying, use it in your own life. Now, I'm not saying don't go out there into the world and copy everything I've said word for word, thinking you're gonna gain something from it. That's where you fail. You need to make your own reality, make your own future with the things that you like, the things that you're good at, the things that you love, and that's when you will be successful. I don't really want anything for Christmas. I feel like I just get whatever I want all the time. I'll just get whatever I want all the time. I don't need one specific day. I just, whatever I want, I'm gonna make sure I get it, okay? I would say I don't really need anything, okay? Like, there's this one thing that I saw. All it does is, like, it fixes your hair better. But then I'm looking at my hair and I'm like, do I really need that? Do I really need that? I feel like when you're blessed, you got it all. But thank you so much. I feel like every day is Christmas. You know, that's the kind of energy we need to have out, is that, like, every day we're going to get what we want. Every day we're going to be successful. Every day we're going to go out there and get what we need, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, if we need to go work out, we go work out, you know, no matter what fucking way, whether it's, you know, running from rooftop to rooftop, running on the ground, you know, whatever it is you gotta do, you're gonna get what you need, and you're not gonna let anybody get in your way. And I'm not saying you're, like, trying to force people to be with you, okay? No, don't do that. That's some weirdo shit. But, you know, you do what you can, okay? And if you can't get it externally, you will give it to yourself, alright? I don't really know what that means, but this is just, I'm streaming from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, basically about, well, basically I just go based on this, okay? So something is coming our way, and I feel like that's why we need to be positive that we're going to remain successful, okay? So it's like, you gotta always be open to what's coming your way. Obviously, if you know something isn't for you, and you can't attain it, or you're not supposed to, go another direction, okay? Don't ever try to force something that isn't for you, you know what I mean? And that's kind of just what people have to learn, is they have to learn where they fit, and where they go, where they need to be. And it could be difficult, because it's like, you want something, but you're not meant for it, or it's not meant for you. And that could be difficult, okay? But being successful is knowing what is for you and what isn't, okay? I'm busy after streaming. But, so for the most part, when you are going to be truly successful, you have to actually be willing to let specific things go that don't work for you. And it could be hard at first, knowing what's for you and then having to let it go. But it's like, things will become obvious over time, whether somebody or something or a position or a job or whatever isn't for you. Over time, you'll see, you know, you'll see everything. And I feel like a lot of people here are doing what they need to do because it's like their calling, okay? And if you don't have a calling, if you don't have a talent, if you don't have specific things, it's not like you can't get them for yourself. There's no reason to, you know, hate on other people's success, because then again, you are cultivating that energy for yourself. Whatever energy you put out into the world is the energy that you are basing your life in. So if you put out a lot of negative energy, your life's going to be really negative. If you put out a lot of good energy and it's genuine, you know, these things have to be genuine. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but you have to genuinely want to do specific things, not so that people can look at you a specific way, not so that you get praise, not so that you get glory, but so that you're doing it because you feel good doing it. You feel like it's right doing it. You feel like it's a good direction for you, you know? And I think that that's important, because we might want something specific, you know, and it just might not be for us. And that's kind of just what we need to discover for ourselves. You know, over time you live and learn. You live and you learn. And I do feel like, you know, I think in our stomachs, in the gut, in the pit of the stomach, it's like, you know if something's going to work and if it's for you and if it's not. And pretty much you'll feel like it's just like things just move fluidly. Okay, there's like a fluid energy of consistent emotion when it comes to whatever it is that you like, you know, and that's meant for you. There's a consistent energy towards it, okay? And with that successful attitude, you're going to actually be able to achieve something. Now, if I go into a situation and I think I can't achieve it, I probably won't, okay? And like I said, yeah, we can wing it, get surprised, and, you know, oh my God, I didn't mean to, but I ended up winning $1 million, okay? That's because you've put yourself in alignment with that type of energy. You put yourself in alignment by not necessarily wanting it, but by just giving it a shot. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't really see that type of energy. It's not like, oh, I want this so bad. Okay? If you want something so bad, usually it starts slipping out of your grasp. Okay? There's this type of energy where you can't be desperate for whatever it is that you're trying to attain. Because if you're desperate, it's probably not for you, right? And if it's for you, it'll come naturally. And I think that that's what we have to kind of realize, is like something that comes natural and something that needs to be forced, okay? Those are the two things we got to really look out for, is like, am I forcing this, or is this genuine? Is it real? Okay, and if it's not real, don't even bother. Okay, don't do things for clout. No, nobody's gonna pat you on the back forever for one little thing you did. Okay, just do things for oneself, alright? And that's kind of what happens, is you put out the type of energy that you want coming back to you. Hello. You put out the right energy, and you're gonna get it back. And a lot of the times we as people, we forget about that. We forget about, oh yeah, being desperate, you know, furders the desire. It could be really hard too, because you're like, okay, well, what the fuck do I do to get what I want? You know, and when you do that, you take the time to actually like operate on a real reality level. Is like, okay, well, if something isn't for me, it's going to be harder to attain. But if something is worth it, then I will put in the effort. Okay, that's kind of what needs to be done, is you need to know if you can put in effort. If you're trying to force a relationship with a person, it takes two, baby. You cannot. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna work. You know, you gotta let that shit flow fluidly, okay? And that's kind of where I was kind of like headed towards. It's like, you know, when you come up to a chick and you're super desperate, that girl gonna run away like you're a bad guy in GTA, okay? Like you're gonna, you know, run her over with your car or something, okay? And that's just the energy that people get. If I go up to a guy and I'm super desperate, 50-50 chance, okay, that he might be like desperate too, okay? But for the most part, you do that with a girl, it's not gonna work. And I've seen a thirsty, hot e-girl hit up this really fat dude, and she's like, so do you think I'm pretty? And he's like, no, I don't like your personality, and your voice is awful. Like, he was like very honest and very real, but like, see, that woman probably thought he would be thirsty and he would want it. And it's like, not everybody should be a cookie cutout. There should be at least one real person out there being themselves. And if that ain't them, it should be you. It should be someone, okay? So if you decide to take up the real, you know, what is it? The baton of realness, you know, pick it up over your head and decide you want to swing around on that bitch and be real, that's probably when you're going to get the things that you desire, the things that you truly want. And it's not by chasing, it's by attracting what it is that you desire in life by putting out the correct energy. Okay, like I'm definitely gonna get more bees with honey than I am if I put out a bunch of dollops of shit. Hey bees, where are you? Why aren't there any bees all over my shit? Okay, no, I gotta put out honey traps. Okay, a bunch of honey, a bunch of pollen. If I want to attract what I want, I can't be putting out bullshit and expecting what the fuck I want. I gotta put out the real shit and expect the real shit back. And if I'm gonna get real shit, I'm gonna accept below it. Okay? And that's what you gotta do with yourself as well. Once you get to that level, once you put out that energy, you put out, real actual honey, you're not gonna let flies come into the mix. No, because you wanted bees. Okay? So you gotta stay focused on what you want. Alright? And like I said, you can't be putting shit on pancakes. I don't know if you know what that's from, but you can't be putting shit on pancakes. It's gotta be real syrup, real honey, okay? Because we're not playing anymore. We're adults, and we should be focused on what we want. And if we're not focused on what we want, what the fuck are we doing? We're just sitting around, just content? Because if you're content, I don't know why you're watching me. If you're not content and you can't figure it out, you will figure it out. You can't worry about it. The more you try to focus on something, the harder it might get, depending on what kind of energy you're putting out to get it. You got to put out the right energy. So you got to find out, okay, well, what's the right thing I could put out? Okay, say I'm a dude. And I want a lot of girls, okay? Thank you. Okay, so you're a dude, okay? And you want a lot of girlfriends. You ain't gonna be out here talking mad shit to every girl you see, thinking that's gonna get you the type of girl you want. That's gonna get you a bitch. She's probably not going to respect you or themselves. That person gonna, feel really, low about themselves and do low things, okay? You want a low life, okay? Vibrate low. You want something good, vibrate high. Put out good energy. Put out real energy too. It can't be fake. That's the thing, is people be faking shit out here. Alright, thank you. People be faking. People do things so that they can get the praise from others. That's not what it's about. You're not gonna get your back patted for every little thing you do in life. That's not why would you even want that? As an adult, getting pat on the back is bitch, get your arm off me. For me, it's I know I'm doing good. I don't need your praise. The fuck? You know what I mean? Literally, we gotta be at that point where we're not trying to seek validation from others. We need to cultivate our reality for ourselves by denying the validation from others. When they say, oh, babe, you're so great. They're shit, I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? You gotta know that. You shouldn't have to need other people to tell you that. You should know you're awesome, okay? You should know you're great without somebody having to tell you. You should know you're doing a good job without people having to tell you, okay? And if you ain't, how are you feeling about yourself? If you're not feeling good, you can change that. There was a point in time where I'm fuck, am I always going to be this shit? No. You can always change. You can always grow. You can always be better. Yeah, but we need to get over it. We need to get over the needing validation, okay? It's fine if you like it, but we need to get over needing people to love us and stuff, because we already love ourselves. We gotta love ourselves enough that no validation is gonna sway us as well, because people could use validations as a manipulative tactic. Think about it. I could give you validation all day until you give me your wallet. And then what? where did the validation lead you? That's what I'm trying to say. We cannot be controlled by our desires, okay? But we also need to reach the pinnacle that we're trying to reach. It's a very difficult, complex dance of, putting out the right energy and not being desperate and thirsty for what it is that's coming towards us. It's just really willing to accept the things that come to us and be appreciative of what we have. And that could be very difficult because you might not feel like you have enough. Even if you ain't got shit, be grateful. That's what I learned. I learned that even if you're not successful, you got to be grateful for any little thing that goes right. Okay? And that's just how it has to be, because your energy, your attitude is what is going to bring you to the top. And if somebody thinks they could throw you off your game, it's like you are allowing it. Like you're in control of your own damn self. You allow things to happen to y'all, okay? Right. And see, like, people care a lot about money. And that's kind of, that's sad. It's like they care so much about money that they don't have anything else that they desire in life. They don't desire to be a better person. They don't desire to be happy. They just want some bills to be paid. And it's like that money doesn't stay. That money can't make you happy. That money can't dance around and be like, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my right-time girl. I ain't gonna be there entertaining you. Yeah, you can use it, but once you use it, it's gone. It's like, how about cultivating something that lasts? Cultivating something that is more than just another person that's with you. Cultivating something within so that when other people abandon you and nobody wants to be around, you still like you. You know what I mean? And you still got you still got your values, your happiness, your integrity, Yes, the WB frog. Okay, yeah, money is so fleeting. Like, basically chasing after things that will instantly disappear is probably not a very good goal, and it's like, you are going to need money, but it can't be your fixation. I feel like that's why like I said, we're desperate for something, and because we're so desperate for it, it eludes us. We need to find that type of balance so that we could be successful, And it can be very difficult. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's easy, you bastards, you just balance the things in your brain and turn this knob and this, no. It's going to take time to really see what's important and what's not. Like, all these things take time. You can't, make huge choices for yourself when you're not thinking right, okay? So, that's pretty much it. What's a thing? Wait, that's a thing. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they try to simplify things that are very difficult. So, it's not really important to focus on the negativity, the not being successful, the people that are kind of, trying to keep you down. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do so that you're winning, okay? And when you're winning, it's not really important what other people are doing. You're not really focused on him, her, them, they. Like, all these people from your family that don't want good things for you, or people in your life that don't want good things for you. It's more of a, well, if I'm successful, great. If I'm not, oh well. You know what I mean? That's kind of just the energy I feel like has worked for me. It's just not really getting too worked either way. It's like, okay, well, if it's successful, that's awesome. If it's not, oh well. And usually that really seems to work. It's just this middle ground of accepting the success or accepting defeat. and then trying again. And I feel like that's been really helpful for me as a person, because then I'm not too bent either way. I'm not like, oh, it should have been a winner, I should have won $1 million. You know, I buy a ticket and I'm like, okay, well, I'm okay if I win or lose, you know, like, okay. And then because of that attitude, it doesn't matter if I win or lose. And if I do win, then I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Hell yeah, do the shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really all about a balance, and just making sure that you have your shit straight, you know? Right. You, instead of buying alcohol, you know, maybe buy something else. I'm not saying buy a cigarillo, no. I'm saying I'm not saying buy a Black and Mild, no. I'm saying buy, instead of buying that 40, you know, maybe buy a scratcher. You know, maybe you'll get like $10. Then you can buy like 3 40s. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, try to make positive decisions. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Because I might buy, if I won, you know, $10 from a little scratcher, I think I'll win, like, you know, I'll get myself a few Black and Milds. Just kidding. I don't even smoke Black and Mild anymore. I remember I told y'all, like, I was homies. Okay, now that the show is over, now I could just talk normal. I used to have a homie, okay? He was about this big back in junior high, okay? About this big, and all the rest of us were all big, you know? So he was surrounded by all these Amazonian women because his dad used to fucking work at a cigar factory. So we'd all love on him and shit. Oh, you got more cigars for us, buddy? He'd fucking bring us like packs, y'all. So I'm like sitting there with a big fucking cigar at like 13, 14. No, I think I was like 12 to 13 years old, bro. I was like, give me that cigar. I smoked a cigar. It was so good. Now it's disgusting to me, okay? Now I literally would not, no. I haven't even smoked a cigarette in, like, I don't even know how many years. It's been forever. Since, like, 2008. Or, like, 7. Or, it's been a really long time. Wild and... No, they were big. They were a big, legit cigar. And I felt like I was a kingpin. And I was like, so you come to the Godfather... You're asking for I'm gonna offer you something you can't refuse. I felt so cool, y'all, like, but, like, now I'm an adult, I realize that shit fucking reeks. It just stinks. My nose buds got better. Not just my sense of taste, you know, it developed as well, but my nose got better, and I could smell that stanky ass shit from a mile away, and I won't be smoking no cigars.